Hi everyone, my name is Bob Pryor, Professor of Mathematics at Norco College, and I am here to talk to you today about the lessons in my online elementary algebra course, Math 52, and also to talk to you about what's called spring-loaded lessons and quizzes and things like that. Let me go ahead and get into the class right now. Okay, here we are at our district homepage, and I'm going to click on my course right here for Math 52. And here's the Math 52 homepage. On this homepage, we see here's some calendar information. You can look at that. There are announcements. There might be some messages. We'll talk about messages and the discussion board and things like that, and email a little bit later. But right now, I'm most interested in looking at lessons. Now we see right here, lessons, and this is underneath what we call the course menu. We can collapse this course menu if we find that it's in our way. Just click on there. If we want to expand, then we can click there as well, and there we have our course menu again. We can also hide the course menu by clicking on this little arrow here, arrowhead, and then we can expand it back by clicking again. But I want to get into lessons and talk to you about what I call spring-loaded lessons and spring-loaded quizzes and tests and all that. So let's begin. Lessons. Right now all we see is a sample lesson 1. So we're going to find quizzes in here that are not real quizzes, but we'll see how they work anyway. Let's go ahead and click on the lesson. This lesson has an introduction, an assignment, discussion, and a quiz. As you see, this is called our table of contents, and we can begin anywhere within the table of contents, but it's recommended that we start at the beginning. So we would look through the introduction, we would read through it, and at the end it says, when ready, go to Lesson 1 assignment page. This is not a link, it just tells us what we need to do next. So I'll scroll back up and let's look at the assignment. On the assignment page, we can read through. It tells us what we're going to be learning in each individual section and the sections that we're supposed to study in this lesson. Then in this particular case, and in most lessons, but not all, there are some outside links to try practicing our algebra in one way or another. And then when we get to the bottom, it says go to the Lesson 1 discussion page. So let's scroll back up, and here's the discussion. And these three happen in each lesson. We have an introduction, we have an assignment, we have a discussion. And the discussion item is a question that each student is asked to answer in the discussion board. We're not going to be doing the discussion board right now. That'll be in a different video. But the online discussion, in this particular case, it asks two different questions: what's your experience in algebra, and so on and so forth. And it then says post your response in the Lesson 1 discussion folder on the discussion board. So that will be in virtually every lesson where we have some kind of discussion. What we do see, though, is sample quiz 1. Oh, and I want to show you something up here. We see here the sample lesson 1, which is what we're in right now, but we can click back to the lessons just by clicking here, and this will take us back to the lessons page. You'll notice that lesson 1, sample lesson 1, covers sections 1.1 to 1.5, and we saw that very briefly in the introduction inside. And notice that there's also 2 quizzes. The reason I wanted to come out here and talk about that is, you'll see in just a moment, when we go inside, we're only going to see 1 quiz. Let's take a look inside. Notice that all we see is sample quiz 1. Where's sample quiz 2? Well, you'll see in a moment, but bottom line is we can't get to quiz 2 right away. We have to take and complete quiz 1 first, and then quiz 2 will become available to us. This is what I call spring-loaded quizzes and spring-loaded lessons. Do well enough on one quiz, it'll spring-load and automatically open the next one, as we'll see. Let's get in right now, though, and take this quiz. Now, I've purposefully made these quizzes very simple. As you'll see in just a moment, we can see that we get to this page where we have some instructions. It says the test has a time limit of 1 hour, plenty of time. Let's see, force completion. This test can be saved and resumed later. Interesting. Not all tests will be that way. And it says this test, it's really a quiz. And then it says this test does allow multiple attempts. We'll see what that's about in just a little bit. Let's click over here to begin. Right away we can see that we have almost an hour left. Plenty of time, remember. And let's come up here on this multiple attempts I mentioned briefly. It says this test, in this case a quiz, allows 2 attempts. This is attempt number 1. So we're working on our first attempt, which means we will get a chance to do it again if we want to. Now the way it works is we complete one question at a time. We can click on this right here. It says question completion status, and we can see that there are 4 questions. And every time we do a question, or we answer it and save the answer, then it'll indicate up here that it's been saved. For example, here's question 1. We have to figure out what 1 plus 2 is. Don't think too long. We'll pick C. And you'll notice over here on the right that we have a chance to save the answer. Sometimes if we don't click that, it'll save it for us automatically. In fact, there it's doing it right now. Saving answer, and then in a moment, saved. Let's take a look back up at the status, and we see that question 1 has changed to saved. We can, though, go back and change an answer if we want. If we think, oh, wait a minute, that's 2. Crazy thing. Well, if we do that, now it's no longer saved. We need to click Save Answer again, or it'll save it after enough time has passed. But I want to have it go back to what it's supposed to be, which is 3. The next question, 2 times 3 is 6. So I'll click 6, and it will save automatically in a moment, or I can save the answer. Here's question 3, 18 divided by 6, which we know is 12. No, of course it's not 12. I'm just missing that on purpose, and for good reason. We'll see eventually. And question 4, 9 minus 2 is 7. So we'll click that. And now we can either click Save All Answers or Save and Submit. I want to save and submit so we can move on and see what's next. This little window says Assessment Submission Confirmation. Click Cancel to return to the test. Click OK to submit assessment. I want to click OK. Okay, after we clicked OK, we get to this page, and it has some information. We're talking about sample quiz 1. The time and date that we started and the time and date that we submitted it. And we used only 3 minutes out of the 1 hour. So like I said, plenty of time. Click OK to view results. Well, that's a little bit lower here on the bottom right hand corner. OK. And up pops the results of our test, our quiz. What we can see is that with question 1, was 1 plus 2, we selected the answer C, which is 3, and we got 2 out of 2 points possible. Good for us. In question 2, we got correct, 3 out of 3. Remember, I missed question 3 and selected 12. I got 0 out of 3 points, and I got question 4 correct. So I should have a total of 7 out of 10 points on this test. Let me scroll up again to see if it indicated 7 out of 10. Oh yeah, there it is, the score. 7 out of 10 points. Great. Let's scroll down and click OK. Oh, and here it is. Sample quiz 2 now appears. And that's because we completed sample quiz 1. You know, though, I'm really not satisfied with my grade on sample quiz 1. I think I can do better. So I'm going to click back to sample quiz 1 and see if I can take it again. Let's see. This test, time limit, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's just go ahead and begin. And what does it say over here? Test already completed. Oh, by the way, you notice I'm calling it a quiz, but Blackboard calls all quizzes and tests tests. So they're all tests. But anyways, the test is already completed. Click OK, which is on the far right side, to review results of last attempt, or, look at this, take the test again. 1 attempts of 2 have already been taken. So we took it once, 1 attempt of 2 have been taken already, but we can click here and take the test again. Good. Hope we do better this time. All right. I think I'm going to get a perfect score on this. I feel confident. Now, I will tell you that oftentimes you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can take a quiz a second time, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. And the reason that is so that you'll actually go back, look at the things that you missed, go back and study, and be prepared to take the quiz again. Well, this is pretty simple. 3, 2 times 3 is 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now, wait a minute. Last time, I'm going to go back to number 1 here. Last time, this answer was letter C, was 3. This time it's B. Oh, so be aware of that. Sometimes the question, the answer responses might be in a different order. So it's not just memorizing what you did before. You got to be careful about that. And I'll tell you this, sometimes even the questions are in a different order. I think these are all the same order as the first time we took it. But be aware of that the letter orders for the answers are not the same. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 9 minus 2. Last time the answer 7 was A, but this time it's D. And I'll just come over here and click Save and Submit. Okay. And we come down to the bottom right to click OK to review our results. And look, we got a score of 10 out of 10. Yay us! Okay, well, let's get it back out of this, and we'll do that by, we can go down and click OK, or notice these are called breadcrumbs, by the way. Up here it says Sample Lesson 1, so I can go click there, and it takes us back to our Sample Lesson 1 page. Just so you know, we've only have 2 attempts at quiz 1. I'm going to click it again and see what it says if I try to take it one more time. We're ready to begin. Click Begin. And this time what we see here is that the test is already completed. Click OK to review the results of the last attempt. But here it says you have already taken the 2 allowed attempts. So if I go ahead and click OK, it'll simply show me the results of the last time I took it, but it won't let me take it again. So I'm going to come back up here to Sample Lesson 1. And now I'm going to do Sample Quiz 2. Okay, begin. Notice that this quiz has only 2 problems. Nice. 9 times 5, that's 45. B. Negative 2 plus 4, that's negative 6. Save and submit. Okay. Again, click OK to view results. OK. Temporarily comes to this page. And here we have the results. 5 out of 10? What did I miss? Negative 2 plus 4 isn't negative 6? Well, what should it be? It doesn't tell me. I guess I better go study that. Okay, I'll click OK. And again, I go study that. I try it again. Sample quiz 2. Click begin. Take the test again. Okay, this is pretty simple again. 9 times 5 is 40. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. Wait, it's negative 2. And come down here and save and submit. Okay. Click OK to view results. Okay. Here are my results. Whoa. Now that's not good. 0 out of 10. I guess I didn't study long enough. I kind of rushed through it. Oh yeah, 9 times 5 is 45, not 40. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. I should have kept it positive 2. Wow, I hope that doesn't kill my score. That's 0 points. Well, I'm going to click OK. Now, I want to show you where you can view your grade so far. We can scroll down here, and at the bottom of the course menu says My Grades. Let's click on that. Okay, sample quiz 1, it says our grade is 10 points. Now, remember, we actually took it twice. And in taking it twice, the first time we got 7, the second time we got 10, and we get to keep the score 10. That's the one that goes in the grade book. In sample quiz 2, the first time I took it, I got 5. The second time I took it, I got 0, yet I get to keep the 5. What this means is we get to keep the higher of the two scores. If the higher is the second one or the first one, it doesn't matter. We get to keep the higher of the two scores. I am kind of curious what happens if I click on this 5. Okay, this tells me of my 2 attempts at quiz 2. This is how I can review them if I need to. Notice that I got a score of 5 the first time, a score of 0 the second time. If I'm curious as to how I did on when I got 0, I can click on the 0, and up pops the quiz results. Very cool. Let's go back to lessons. Oh, look, we have another lesson. The reason that we have lesson 2 now, this sample lesson 2, is because we completed quiz 2 and it spring-loaded open the next lesson. It opened up once we completed quiz 2, we were able to move on to the next. Notice that this sample lesson has quiz 3 and quiz 4. Let's get in. Okay, again we have the introduction, we've got an assignment, we've got a discussion, and we've got sample quiz 3. Let's go do sample quiz 3. Click begin. Again, there are 2 questions. I want to show you something in particular about this. I'm going to get them both wrong. Say negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 9. We know that's wrong. And negative 4 plus negative 7 is 3. That's also wrong. So when I submit this, save and submit, I'll get a score of 0. And I'm going to submit. And I want to show you what happens when we get a score of 0 on a quiz or a test. Click OK. Notice that we got 0 out of 10 points. That's our score. And we click OK to get back out of that. What I want you to see is that sample quiz 4 did not appear. Sample quiz 4 did not appear because we did so poorly on sample quiz 3. In order to spring load open the next quiz, you have to get a score of at least 1 point. If you get a score of 0, it will not open. Now here's a little bit of a problem. What if we take sample quiz 3 a second time and get another score of 0? If that happens, then you need to, or someone, whoever that happens to, must send an email to the teacher right away. The teacher then can allow you to take sample quiz 4 anyway. But this is an important thing. If you get a 0 once, be very cautious and don't get a 0 a second time, because it will actually stop your progression. And that's when you need to send an email to your teacher right away, let them know what's going on. Okay, we will take it again one more time, and we will do well, and this time we'll get at least one of them right. So we got 20 here and -11, save and submit. And I'm not going to go through looking at it. And we'll click OK, and we get 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm going to click up here at sample lesson 2, and we see now that sample quiz 4 has appeared. Okay, actually I just paused the video and I went and took sample quiz 4, so lesson 3 should appear. Let's just go check and make sure that that has indeed happened. I'll come up here and click lessons, or I could come over here and click lessons. Either way is fine. And there we have it. Lesson 3 is now available to us, and so it continues. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, be sure to email me or your teacher. And again, your individual instructor's class might do things a little bit differently. So this is what worked for my class, might be different with someone else. Just be sure that you know exactly how it is that it works, so that you are not confused by it. Okay? Well, good luck. Log out.